Welcome to the Real Board Loft. I'm Trip Forman. Today we got Real Team Rider with us, Ryan Leopold. Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We want to talk about a few of your new Smith shapes that you've been out surfing. Let's talk about the Humanoid first.
Yeah, this thing, I actually only got a chance to ride it a couple times before I broke it. As you know, I do that.
You break everything.
I know.
We're never disappointed anymore. It's just a matter of when.
No, but this thing, I got a chance to ride it in that last little tropical storm. I think Anna is what
Yep,
it was.
okay.
That first little tropical pulse we had. And got some of the, probably some of the better lefts I've had in my life on this thing. I was a little apprehensive at first. It looks like a little wider in the front, you know, so I was like, that's kind of straying away from my normal, you know, what I do normally. So,
okay.
But then I got it in that sort of subtropical surf, and there was some 6 to 8 foot faces easily probably that night. And just like what Graham said, it just went straight. You know, there's just enough rocker in this thing to make it so you'll never pearl. It's like on some of the,
because first impression, it looks pretty flat, right?
Yeah, and I was like, you know, this thing is like kind of a bit flat for me. I like a bit more rocker, a bit more pulled in nose, but it really surprised me in the barrel. I was, you know, really square, shore breaky style, like really heavy barrels, and it did just fine. I was able to scoop under and like almost scoop so far under the lip and then sort of wrangle the foam ball and was still able to push through and come out on some of those deeper ones. So it really impressed me on that. And honestly, turns and everything too, it never really had any sort of like learning curve on it. It was very shortboardy, very, you know, just like a normal board that I would always ride. So yeah, I mean, it did really well for me.
Now, what about, like Graham was describing this thing as kind of like a rangy travel board? You can kind of almost ride it in anything. Have you ridden it in like average waves at all?
I did a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I rode it the next day, and it was nowhere near as big, and
okay.
You know, in this sort of range, and there was a little bit of surface chop on it, and still the same. I mean, I thought, you know, with this kind of wider point up front, I thought it might dig a little more, but you know, it stayed steady the whole time and kind of just turned just like a shortboard. So I was really pleased.
And so what about the ease of use? Like this thing compared to a standard shortboard, is it the same? Is it easier? Like, does it paddle better or worse? Like, what do you feel?
It 100% paddles better,
okay.
I think. In situations when I normally would like a 6'1", or even like, you know, 5'10" to 6'1" range in some bigger surf, I was able to do the same thing on this 5'7", because it's just all the meat in the right places.
Right,
and,
right.
It paddles really, really good. And it felt honestly a little too big for me when I first picked it up. I was like, I don't know, you know, you do that arm test and you just feel it, and it feels good. At first I was like, man, this thing's big, but the way it paddles, I was just like cruising straight.
So you think you could go even smaller than 5'7"?
I think I maybe could, but you know, I like a little bit more than less, if anything, just for paddling. We're wearing a lot of rubber around here a lot of times, so you know.
Not today.
Not today, you're right. It's a scorcher. But yeah, I like to have a little more than less. I hate to feel like I don't have enough with paddling, and as far as like, you know, pumping, I feel like I didn't have to do a whole lot of pumping on this. It kind of just did it for me. So I feel like if I went to like 27 or 26 liters, I might feel a little undergunned. That's the worst feeling for me. I'd rather have a little bit more with me. Awesome.
So Smith shapes, Humanoid, easy to paddle, good tube board. Like definitely like a good, like kind of compact tube board. Good all-arounder, good travel board. Mm-hmm. And man, those waves you got on it were insane.
It was incredible. I had like this thing will hold a special place with me forever, because it just like that night I just had a really special session on it, and it just like it just did what I wanted it to do. It was never like, I never felt out of place. It was just like it went just the way I wanted it to.
Right.
Yeah. So it was.
Yeah, the lines on the thing are super smooth too, like the outline and the rocker and everything.
And you could, on a trip, it would be very versatile. You could ride it into anything from like 10 to 12 foot down to knee high, or even, you know, knee to waist high. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, thank you for joining us. If anyone out there has any questions on the Smith Shapes Humanoid, you can always call us at the shop, 252-987-6000, or look us up online, realwatersports.com/surfing. Thanks for tuning in.